Well, once again, welcome to Hunter Logan Unmiked. I'm Hunter Logan, and this is episode 6. Man, we are in March of 2018. We're getting closer and closer to catching up in real time. Now, this month, March, would be a huge month. Of course, this is the month of the family reunion. This is also the month that the morning show goes live for 3 hours. Now, we've been doing a 2-hour show up to this point. Of course, currently, at this particular time where I'm doing this broadcast, we're at 2 hours again. But at this time, we went 3 hours because we're having so much content to do. And so much is going on that we're doing a 3-hour show. We're having a lot of guests come in, doing the morning show, doing a lot of Christian country cafes. There's just a lot of stuff popping off and happening. So it's easy to fill up 3 hours. Plus, people are saying, Hunter, why don't you go an extra hour? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm having a hard enough time doing 2 hours, much less going 3. But at the time, it was okay to do because we really had enough content and enough people coming through, especially the months we had people here to do shows and interviews. It was no problem to fill it up. In fact, there was a couple of times we went all the way to 10:30, so we went 4.5 hours a couple of times. Could have went longer even on some shows. But all of that leads up to the family reunion, the 4th annual family reunion. And this 4th one would be one to remember. They're all special. Well, you know what? They're just all special. Each one of them has its own identity. And there's something special about each one. But this one here, man, I got my buddy Randy Boudreaux to come in. Now, in an earlier podcast, you know Randy. I told you the story about Randy. Writer, award-winning songwriter, number ones. He's had, he's the guy that wrote Alibis for Tracy Lawrence, Broken Heartsville for Joe Nichols, Good Night Sweetheart for David Kirsch, among others, and many other writes. I got him to come in and talk for the part of Saturday morning. So the Saturday morning class at the Hampton was awesome for the family reunion. So I'll break it down for you how we did this, right? Because the family reunion, if you've never been to one, this particular one, this is how it went. So I'm going to give you the schedule of the 4th family reunion, just to let you know how everything went. Because Saturday was a great day. The whole thing was good, but this is how family reunion goes, right? So it kicks off on the Wednesday. Starting at noon, it's open house. Some artists start arriving on that Wednesday. So from 6 to 7 p.m. that night, we had in the station, in the Christian Country Cafe, we had Trinity Winterstrom. 7 to 8, we had Michael Lee. From 8 to 9, we had Steve Bridgman. And then Thursday, we had from 7 to 9 a.m., we did the morning show. And we had different guests on there, whoever came by. 6 to 7 p.m. that night, again, at the station, we had in the Christian Country Cafe, Jenna Faith. 7 to 8, we had Brent Harrison. 8 to 9, we had Mary James. 9 to 10, we had Austin Zimmer. And then after that, we'd have jam sessions here at the station. So after everybody was done doing a little bit, we'd have a jam session. So we broadcast all that live, and then we just have a jam session afterwards. It'd go till 2, 3 in the morning. Well, Friday, we did the morning show again, 7 to 9 a.m. Whoever wanted to show up, showed up. Well, then Friday night would be at the Strand Theater. And that night we had Butch Tinker, Justin Todd, Herod, Brandon, and the Arenos. And then Saturday morning, we get up and at the Hampton, everybody was staying at the Hampton. Well, we had the meeting room there till noon. And then from 9 to 9:15, we had morning prayer and the devotional. And Nathan Areno gave that. And then from 9:15 to 10, I had Rick Schweinsberg with Red Hen Records there. And then after that, from 10 to 10:45, I had Randy Boudreaux. And Randy comes in. He says, "Hunter, what do you want me? What do you want me to talk about, man? What do you want me?" Because I didn't tell him what to talk about. I said, "Man, just you know, talk about what's on your heart, man." And at first, he just kind of said, "I'm Randy, and I wrote this and I wrote that." But then all of a sudden, a Holy Spirit caught a hold of him, man, and he started talking. And he started sharing. And I'm telling you, he touched everybody in that room. He touched the musicians and the songwriters on a level that only they could be touched. From a successful songwriter's position, who had basically been to the big show and basically fallen. I'm not going to go into his testimony, but you can find it. You can find him. He loves the Lord. And it was never more evident that day how much he loved the Lord. It was just really, really, really a great moment in time for the family reunion, the 4th annual family reunion. It's one of those moments that just stick out, man. It just sticks out, you know? And I still remember it to this day, as do a lot of other artists. And when we talk about family reunions, that comes up. So, of course, after him was Diane Parton with Power Source. And then at noon was the crawfish ball and a guitar giveaway, which we always do. And then at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Strand Theater, again that Saturday night, it was Arkin Terrell, Randy Paul, Bruce Hedrick, and Trevor Bohannon. Man, I tell you, it was a great gathering. The artists in attendance that year was Jeff Bates, James G., Christian Davis, Lone Highway Band, Steve Shirey, Peter McDougall, Randy Fincham, Wayne Stewart, Wade Phillips, Jamie Lynn, John Randolph, Ron Pardue, Steve Robertson, Shelley Wilson, along with all the other ones that I named earlier. You know, the Renos, Branded, Justin Todd Harrod, Butch Tinker, Austin Zimmer, Mary James, Brent Harrison, Jenna Faith, Steve Bridgman, Michael Lee, Trinity Winterstrom, who is now TK Brown. She was Trinity Winterstrom then. All those artists were here. The family reunion, man, was just a awesome event. And it all started from C4, from that faith building event. Now, there's pictures on our Christian Country Cafe website, ChristianCountryCafe.com. You can go there and you can click on past events. And then you can see all the pictures you want of every family reunion that we've had so far. And there's even pictures of the Friends of HLE that we talked about in the previous episodes. So you can catch those. You can see those as well just by clicking on those links. Family reunion. Man, what a time. What a time. The family reunion month is always busy. But then I was staying busy playing music too. Because I'd be traveling and playing a lot during this time. So the month of April, well, the whole year of 2018 was a busy year. We would lay a lot of groundwork for a lot of things to come. And we were blowing and going, as they would say. But I was traveling, playing bass, and broadcasting. It was something. Of course, I had a brand new vehicle, right? Remember the previous episodes I told you? The new vehicle? God knew I'd need it because I'd be doing a lot of traveling. And I'd be carrying a lot of equipment. And that I would need it. God always knows what you need, when you need it, and why you're going to need it. And he did. So, got the new HLE vehicle all lettered up, ready to go. So, my buddies, Crossfire Gospel Band, gave me a call, said, "Hunter, we need a bass player. We're going to be in Waxahachie. I said, oh, okay, when? And they tell me, I said, oh man, that's right before I got to be at the ICM week in Nashville for the convention. I said, what day? It's the Sunday. And I got to be in Nashville for that Tuesday, I think it was. So it gives me like an extra Monday. I said, I can do that, man. I'll just take the stuff and I'll just broadcast all week in Nashville, just an extra day. I can find something to do in Nashville, no problem. So I pack up, load up, go to Waxahachie, play some bass, visit with my brothers, have a grand old time over there. And we had some fun. Then head out to ICM week in Nashville, the convention. Now, also while I was there at the Nashville convention, I would broadcast the Tennessee Songwriters Association Songwriter Awards. And that was cool too. Of course, my faithful buddy, Brian Carpenter, would come meet me, help me out. Now, he wouldn't be able to come meet me right away, so I was stuck there for the first little bit. But man, did we ever have an awesome setup. Whoa. We had a 2-table setup and an interview area. So we show up, got the product table, got Malcolm and Charlie, that's our 2 dummies. We got shirts on them, we got hats on them. We're displaying the HLE Radio shirt, the Christian Country Cafe shirt, Christian Country Cafe cap, HLE Radio cap. We're giving a guitar away for anyone who downloads the app, comes by, puts their name in the bowl. We got our coffee mugs out, all our merchandise, we got it out there, cards. Then I got that nice setup to broadcast live. So I'm doing the morning show live on location on the convention floor. And I got an interview area set up. Got some chairs, nice chairs made. One says Hunter Logan, the other one says guest. Got the banners, nice big banners set up. I mean, it is it's a setup like it's supposed to be. It's set up the way it's supposed to be. It looks professional. Looks like radio. It's supposed to look. And that's how we do it at HLE Radio. Now, this is the time where some radio stations were ganging up on us. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4 radio stations at this time who'd gotten together, led by one ringleader, that had gotten together to go against us. And I was treated very ugly while I was there. Between these 4 radio stations, all they had was a table with a few pamphlets and a microphone cable and a mic and a few items. I think they might have had a couple of koozies or something. Maybe a tumbler or 2. And that's all that's all they had between them. Now these cats showed up to the convention with nothing. And here we are, very professional, looking like what a radio station is supposed to look like. And here's the coalition, the coalition against Hunter and HLE Radio, and they got nothing. They look exactly like what they are, bedroom stations, because that's where they're out of. They're all out of their bedroom anyway. And people get upset with me when I say this a lot of times. But there's your difference. How can we be taken serious? When people see Christian Country Radio and they see HLE Radio with a presentation like that, and they see these other clowns with presentations like that, they tune in and they see somebody cleaning like their wife cleaning behind them in their office. They've turned their bedroom into a so-called radio station, and their wife is behind them in a moo-moo cleaning. Or their dog's in their living room yapping. But then they see HLE Radio artists performing in a station with a green screen, or just see the station itself. They can tell it's not a bedroom, that it's a brick and mortar. So imagine that somebody who could really help further Christian country along, right? Could really help the music go somewhere. And they come across HLE and they say, man, I like this stuff. This is good. Look at that. And then they see one of these clowns in the bedroom and they're like, well, what's this? The Christian country, oh, this is a joke. And then we get put in the same boat. We're doing it right, but because they're clowning around, we get put in the circus. And that's what I've been fighting. Maybe that's why they're jealous. Maybe that's why they do what they do and fight against it. Come up with coalitions. Come up with these little badges of DJs and we're this and we're going to do this. And it's all bull crap. It doesn't matter. And try to say stuff like, well, we offered Hunter, but he didn't want to have nothing to do with it. No, you didn't. Anyway, I'm just saying the difference between HLE radio and the bedroom stations. There is room for everybody. If everybody stays in their lane and does what they're supposed to, there's room for everybody. But not everybody is a quarterback. Not everybody is a wide receiver. Not everybody is a running back. Not everybody is a lineman. I'm using football analogy. I mean, the right guard don't come up and say, okay, I'm going to play quarterback because I don't want to play right guard anymore. That don't happen. Throws everything off. It doesn't work that way. Well, I can tell you this, 3 of those radio stations don't exist anymore out of those 4. One's having a hard time staying on the air. I'm not wishing them any bad thing. I'm not rejoicing that they are. I'm not any of that. I don't even worry about them. I could care less. We're going to continue to do what we do. Saving Christian country music or being number one or being the biggest, the best never was the goal. The goal is souls. Simply, the goal is souls. But I want to do the best that I can with what I got. And I want us to be the most professional we can be. So when I say I'm the most professional at being unprofessional, if I'm unprofessional, I want to be the most professional at it. Of course, that's a little oxymoron there because in order to be unprofessional, to be professional at being unprofessional, you have to be professional. Some of you will get that. But we were treated very ugly that particular trip. And that, in fact, would be the very last ICM week that I would do in Nashville. I would not go to another one. Because I decided from that point on, I will not go where HLE radio is tolerated. I will only go where HLE radio is celebrated. Same for Hunter Logan. I will not go where Hunter Logan is tolerated. I will only go where Hunter Logan is celebrated. I don't need it. I don't need the extra crap. I got enough crap going on as it is. I don't need to subject myself to any more of that. Just really don't. So from that point on, that has been my philosophy. I only go where I'm celebrated, never where I'm tolerated. And I don't take the radio station there either. HLE radio only goes where it's celebrated, never where it's tolerated. And that's the truth. So after that mess and that fiasco, we go on to broadcast the Tennessee Songwriters Association Songwriters Award. And that was cool. It was at the Troubadour Theater. Very cool. Enjoyed that tremendously. Really enjoyed that a lot. It was just great. Got to meet some great songwriters and some great songs. Got to thank Corey Barker for setting that up, man. Corey hooked us up with that. I mean, we were already there, so we got to use our interview chairs and our interview banner, all that stuff. It's just really cool. Who doesn't like staying on Music Valley Road? I do. Caney Fork Grill. Oh, catfish swimming in the middle of the restaurant. The catfish and ribs special. Yo, man. Something else. Then packed on up, come on back, and I was interviewed on the Paige Roberts Show. That's the last thing that happened in April. And I hadn't been interviewed in a while, so it was nice to talk about the radio station and all that had been going on with the radio station. So we did an interview on the Paige Roberts Show, and that wrapped up the month of April. Also going to wrap up this podcast. Hey, thanks for tuning in. You know I'm going to give you the real of the real right here. Hey, I love and appreciate you, all of you that are listening, tuning into this. Thanks for the comments, those of you who have commented and let me know that you're enjoying these. If you have any comments for me, hit me up, hunter@hleradio.com, or on Facebook, or on Twitter, HLE Radio. That's my Twitter handle. Or YouTube, Instagram, we're all there. Hey, until next time, remember, Duke 28-2, and I'll see you